How are you? Good evening, good afternoon. 9:17. Why am I looking so happy? I should be absolutely fed up to the back teeth, and I am a bit, but I was laughing at the complete stupidity of it. We had I just made a brilliant video, really cool video. Seriously, I had 360-degree virtual reality going on there, a whole thing of the room, and I took you on a tour out to the Disgraceland's kitchen, showed you all the stuff that's going on out there, where we keep the food, what sort of food we eat here, what is food, I don't know, look at that, does that look like someone who eats food? No! Someone who drinks beer! Blah, 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 blah. I told you all about why I wasn't going to be drinking beer this week because of pills I'm meant to be taking, and how I was going to take the pills, and then I realised, no, actually I need a beer, so I ran up the road and got some beer, then came back and found I bought some beer and some wine, and then came back in here and did all sorts of other stuff and talked about loads of interesting things. I think they were interesting anyways. Dave was really on form. He was jumping up and down, he was telling jokes, he was laughing and smiling. He's normally so, you know, look at him. He's disheartened, can you tell? Look. That's all he does. But he was leaping around, he was doing all sorts of great things. Hang on, what we haven't done yet. Are you ready for this, guys and girls? You know how to spell it, you know how to sing it. Here we go. O-O-B-O-L-A-S-B-I-D-S, that spells Atlantis. Just for all those who enjoyed that on the last video, thank you for that. I've been digging through. In the last video I went on about how I was digging through all my old hard drive stuff and finding all these old tunes, and of which that is one. That's actually called 9 Seconds of Pure Excitement, and that was written on let me get this right, Reason, on the original sort of version of Reason, and all created with mouse clicks and drawing notes on the screen. And so Apesong commented on the nature of that tune, and it is very interesting. If you're normally writing stuff on guitar or bass or whatever your main instrument is, start writing on something else. So for me, if I wrote on keyboards or with mouse clicks, I don't have to consider whether it's guitar friendly, whether it's easy to play, which has a number of. First of all, you're going to probably write something completely different because your fingers aren't falling into natural places, and you're not going to come up with, you know, all the same sort of stuff that you normally do. You know, you probably find in most bands, once you've learned 2 or 3 of their songs, you pretty much know where the rest of them are going to go. Not in all cases, but. And as a writer, as someone who writes music, I was getting to the point a few years ago where everything I was writing, I was automatically going to the same picking patterns or the same favourite chords or the same little runs. You start writing, just drawing things on the screen with a mouse click, you can come up with some brilliant results, very different. And then I found that going back and trying to play those on guitar can be really bloody difficult, and really difficult, just because they're not guitar friendly. And so if I can then learn to play one on guitar afterwards, I'm a better guitar player for it. So that's a tip. Actually, that's something I did a few years ago, was write stuff that I couldn't actually physically play because it's too difficult, and had the idea in my head of how these tunes would go, and would write them and then learn to play them, and have to get my hands and everything brain, and I improved a hell of a lot that year. I also had the foresight to write most of my tunes in the key of A, so at the end of the year I could just glue several of them together, little bits and pieces, and I came up with 2 or 3 pretty decent tunes. But there you go, tips for cheating. Oh, I did tell in the other video about how this beer is Spitfire, by the way, Shepherd Neame Spitfire. How if you get imported beer in America or Canada or wherever you are, this is just, I reckon, the typical British pint, English pint. This is English beer. That. It's lovely. It's 4.5%. 4.5%. Always check your percentages. 4.5, good for beer. Not good for wine. Not good for wine. Right. It's not as bad as 5.5, but it's not very good for wine. That was the Bouzouki there. But now, if you haven't seen that before, there's quite a long video of me swearing and inventing all sorts of swear words as I'm attempting to restring this thing. This was given to me last year, and you all know how much I love slotted headstocks on multi-stringed, steel-stringed instruments. They're just a pain in the arse, and this has got a floating bridge as well, which, you know, and then you've got this tail piece where you have to hook the little thing, and it just was a nightmare, an absolute bloody nightmare to restring. So I don't play it very often in case I break a string and then I get done for murder, which is a thing that's going to happen. So there you go, that's the Bouzouki. I'm going to put that there in case I break it. Put it back where it lives. Hang on. Talk to Dave. Oh, there you go. And I did find an animation that I did some time ago. Just a short animation. As it happens, it's 9 seconds long. And so what I might do is, just for you guys and girls out there, is actually edit the video, actually use video editing software and edit it. Click, move, click, move, pictures, noise, and put a bloody title sequence on something before too long. However, don't hold your breath because I'll probably forget. Beer. I'll tell you about, I'm drinking beer today. To hell with it. The video I made, which has disappeared, what happened was, I recorded it on this phone, this Samsung S4 mini thing, I think it is, and it's very small. My hands aren't that damn big. It's a mini, and recorded it on there. And somewhere in the transfer process, I think I got excited and tried to cut it and paste it before it had done something. It's just lost somewhere. It's gone somewhere. No one knows quite where it is now. It's just gone. It's not in there. It's not on my computer. It's not in the cable in the middle. It's nowhere. It's not on the floor. Just gone. And it was like, it was a good vid. I was quite pleased with it. But it's all gone. So I might do an edit fest on one video and one video only. The problem is it takes so damn long to render anything here, and it completely ties up my computer. So I can't do music, I can't watch you guys on YouTube, I can't do keep up with the Formula 1, I can't do anything. I'm just sitting there going, I've got the radio 4, but you know, that's generally news or people talking about the price of eggs or murder. If you're watching the Archers at the moment, listening to the Archers, if you're watching it, it's all dark. If you're listening to the Archers, Rob Titchener, he bloody don't like it up him, he deserved that. But the bugger's getting better, unfortunately, so there's no murder trial, and now there's a big storyline, a new big storyline, bigger than murder probably, is about the sale of eggs. So if you don't know the Archers, it's the longest running serial soap opera ever. It's a radio serial on Radio 4 here in England, and it's in Britain, UK, wherever, all this place. And it's, yes, it's very, very, very middle class. And yes, they talk a lot about yoghurt making, price of eggs. There was a cow. There was a cow with a twisted uterus on there the other day. And they just said, "Oh, it's got a twisted uterus," and you think this will be exciting. And a bit later on, what happened? Oh, the vet come and untwisted it. Well, they got to fit the storyline about the eggs, obviously, haven't they? So there we go. What else is happening? I'll probably see you before the weekend because I'm going to try and do a few more videos. I've got. Oh, Tourette's damage, excuse me. I got one on where I just want to plug a couple of acoustic guitars in and just go mad with some reverb, just because it's something I haven't done for a while, and I had an idea the other day it'd be quite nice to listen to some. So that's all the reverb video I keep talking about is going to be, and I've ruined it now, so I have gone and set up on Reason this afternoon several different types of reverb and filters and things going into it and different stuff, but it's sort of missing the point of what I was going to do the video about originally. So it's just I talked about this on the other bloody video as well. It's like, if this one doesn't work, then it'll be another bloody murder. Alright, so I even did an unboxing video. I unboxed my sodding fridge. I went to the fridge and unboxed it and pulled out a beer and showed you all the beer. It's really exciting. So, all I was going to say about reverb is sometimes, you know, you have your normal sort of setting, which for me is very, very subtle. Same way I use delay if I'm playing live. Very, very subtle delay, very, very subtle reverb. Hardly anything there. Not to give masses of space and echo and all that, but just to give a bit of body to the guitar. But sometimes it's really good just to crank the hell out of it and just make it sound like you're playing in the middle of a cathedral, in the middle of a swimming pool, in the middle of a castle, in the middle of an ice palace, and you know, bing, all that sort of stuff. So that's all I'm going to be doing. Is I'm going to be plugging a couple of guitars in, probably the Ovation, probably the nylon string, or one, or both, or either, and doing that. So exciting stuff. Not as exciting as all the other stuff I did have, or this, which is the most exciting 9 seconds in the world. R-O-B-B-O-L-A-N-D-S-B-I-D-S, that spells Atlantis. So if this doesn't bugger up, you'll be seeing this very soon. If not, keep an eye on the papers, because I'll probably lose it, flip out, bite someone on the face. Anyway, I've said anyway, which means I can now have a beer. I'm in a happy place. I hope you are too. Thanks for all the support, people. Massively appreciated all the likes and all the comments and all of that and all the views and that. Fantastic. We'll keep it coming. I'll see you on the next one.